Another Ramadan TV series is Refresh by Coca-Cola and Nourish by Cowbell Evap.
It's another glorious day in the blessed month of Ramadan. How is the Ramadan going at your end? We do hope that it's been a fulfilling one for you spiritually and personally. Today, as usual, we still have Ustaz in the house, and today we'll be discussing Sunnahs of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Before we get right into the topic proper, we would like to take a short break and we'll be right back.
In Ramadan, we are all connected. We all have the same empathy towards one another. We all feel the same rush to catch that moment of iftar and walk into the same special home-cooked meals. Every Ramadan, we are one when we fast, but not always when we break fast. This Ramadan, let's be one when sharing iftar. Sharing makes us one. Coca-Cola, real wonder.
Welcome back. Yes. So, Ustaz, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When we talk of Sunnah, we know we're talking about the sayings, and the actions of the prophets. Yeah, how he was, able to live his life and the things that we want to emulate from his way of life. But specifically as it relates to Ramadan, what are these Sunnahs?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his blessings upon us. First and foremost, Muslims should understand that the goal of Ramadan is to become a better Muslim. And there are several ways of maximizing this period so that we will be able to gain a lot of things. So, as regards the Sunnah of Ramadan, so we are looking at the things to be done, or the things that can be done in order to make base of Ramadan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as mentioned in the Quran, when talking about Ramadan, He says, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. The month of Ramadan, wherein Quran was revealed, where Quran was revealed. Quran is a guidance and a means of guidance. So one of the best ways of maximizing Ramadan is to recite Quran, to work out a schedule of how many pages, how many portions of Quran you can be reciting on a daily basis, and that will make us that will earn us a lot of reward. Another sunnah prescribed in fasting is taking sahur, and that is the pre-dawn meal that we take in order to have the strength to fast. We have some Muslims that they may find it, although they can fast without taking it, but we tell them that there's blessing in taking sahur. As Muhammad mentioned in hadith that tasaharu fa inna fi sahuri baraka. That is, ensure to take your sahur, the pre-dawn meal, because there's a lot of blessing in taking sahur, and it will also give us the strength to fast, so that you not become weak during the day. So that's it. So it's also important. At the same time, when it's good to delay the sahur, close to the fajr time. So it is also good to delay to the fajr time, and also while breaking the fast. So we are enjoying to also to not to delay. We should break it on time, so we should extend the breaking. So it is also one of the ways, one of the sunnahs recommended in Ramadan. Also, our time in Ramadan should be judiciously spent so that we engage ourselves in a lot of askar There are so many askar that you can say. Even while breaking our fasting, that is known as iftar. While having our iftar, it is also recommended to say askar before breaking it, like by saying ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله. Another importance of Sunnah while fasting is to give charity, to extend charity to people, especially the poor. So let them feel the atmosphere of Ramadan, that Ramadan is a month of charity. So let's extend goodness to them. Let them see that the month is full of a lot of bounties. So another one is by engaging one another, advising one another as regard good things to be done. So we can be reminding ourselves when we meet ourselves on the streets, on the masjid, Assalamu alaikum, how has been Ramadan. So you should be careful to encourage the Muslim brothers and sisters. So another thing is that reciting Quran, I think we mentioned it.
We have, but we can't overemphasize the importance
of reciting
Quran. So,
yes, of course.
Yes. So, and I know that there's some people that specifically even just, have a schedule. Like you said, they have a schedule of how they can fully, finish up the whole Quran within the month. So, within so days, I want to be able to cover this, I want to be able to cover. In fact, there are some healthy competitions among family members.
Yes.
We were out there the other day, asking people about how they prepare for the goals that they usually set for Ramadan.
Yeah.
And one of our respondents was saying that reading the Quran is always a major target for him.
Yeah.
That the previous year, it was the dad that finished up before him. This year, he's challenged himself that he's going to beat his dad to it, and that's so interesting and beautiful to see. So Quran is a major remembrance for us.
Yes.
Remembrance of the beauty of Islam in general and the bountiful blessings that come with it. I know that you have covered quite a number. We can just do a sort of recap of that. You mentioned that reading the Quran is important. Having our sahur is equally very important. Even for breaking your fast, which is the iftar, when is the time? Make sure you break it. You don't have to eat a full meal at that point in time, but break it with fruit, with dates, right? Break it as it's prescribed. Yeah, and then charity. Charity is very important. We cannot undervalue the essence of charity, especially in this period. Yes. So whatever good deed, it's not even about just giving out money or giving out food. Say a good word is also charity. Let's go on a very short break, and then we'll continue this conversation.
Minister for Enjoyment is what everyone calls me because I love to enjoy myself.
So creamy. So good.
Enjoyment Minister, can we get back to the meeting?
Sorry. Cowbell evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste.
Even hubby loves the creamy taste.
So creamy.
So good.
Welcome back. We're still here. So, Ustaz, on reading the Quran, there's some people that can't read the Quran, right? So, how are they able to enjoy in this Sunnah of reading the Quran?
It's important for every Muslim to learn how to read Quran, because that is one of the required knowledge for every Muslim to know, because with the Quran you'll be able to pray your salat correctly. So, and it is also important that when you know Quran and you will know the meaning of Quran, so it might not be the whole of Quran, but just try as much as possible to learn, some short surahs in the Quran, so as to be among those that will be also be recognizing Ramadan, the word of Ramadan with the teaching of Quran. So another thing is that regarding those who cannot read Quran at all, so because we have some Muslims who cannot even read Quran at all. But no, that should not stop them from benefiting from the reward of Quran. They can be listening to Quran recitations. We have so many reciters, so we can be listening to Quran recitation, and we hope that they also will have reward for listening to Quran. And they can also be attending Islamic gathering wherein Quran is being recited and where Quran is being explained through, so they can also learn more about, and that will even motivate them to also learn. So that is it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us.
I know during Ramadan, especially at this time, you are doing so much with regards to Taraweeh. Everybody, normally without Ramadan, you don't have to. Some people don't wake up even in the middle of the night to pray. It's part of culture for some people, whether it's Ramadan or not. So, but what is the essence of Taraweeh in Ramadan?
Is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in the hadith that one of the purpose of fasting is to strengthen us spiritually. So, and one of the ways is to be waking up at night to perform nawafil. I know people, some Muslims are weak, so to be waking up at night to perform Taraweeh, to perform nafla. So, but this is Ramadan. So the fact that they are observing Taraweeh congregationally, we enable them to be part of it. So and that's what is enjoyed at night nafla is Taraweeh. So you have observed your Taraweeh, then when we wake up for your sahur, if you have the strength to perform 2 or 4 rakats, no problem. But you do not have to repeat your Taraweeh again, or you do not have to repeat your witr again. So the most important thing is that those Muslims will also try to be regular and be consistent with the Sunnah act of prayer, the nawafil. So because we have some prescribed nawafil for each salat, obligatory salat. For Zuhr, for instance, for a Muslim who have taken sahur, such a Muslim can go to the mosque early to observe the greeting. That is 2 rakah. So tahiyyatul masjid. You also have the time to perform what is called rakah and fajr. That is the sunnah rakah, the two sunnah rakah before observing salatul subhi. The same thing for Zuhr. Going early to the mosque so as to be able to perform the sunnah nawafil, before some salat and after some salat. So for Zuhr asks before and after. For Subhi, it asks only before, not after, except if one did not observe it before Subhi time, then you can observe immediately after the congregation for the Salatul Subhi. So these are the ways of maximizing it. Then he must ensure that he perform Taraweeh. Most importantly, to perform Taraweeh in order to be part of those who will maximize greatly the reward of Ramadan greatly. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us.
Amen. There you have it. We hope it's been such an exciting and enlightening moment for you. And the knowledge gained, we hope it will be useful, mashallah. We're going to be drawing the curtain on the talk segment. We'll be right back.
Minister for enjoyment is what everyone calls me because I love to enjoy myself.
So creamy. So good.
Enjoyment Minister, can we get back to the meeting?
Sorry.
Cowbell evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste.
Even hubby loves the creamy taste.
So creamy.
So good.
I want to welcome you to this beautiful show called Another Ramadan, which is about storytelling of the Prophet, Quran and Hadith. I'm super excited to be on this show, so Khalida and Camila, come join me.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. How are you guys doing? Alhamdulillah. So inshallah today we're going to be telling stories of the Prophet and messengers of Allah. So let's start to introduce ourselves. I am Muhammad Abdul Aziz. also known as Uncle Jim. You can call me Uncle Jim. So let's start from the right.
Jalal
Good, Jalal Kuku. Nice name. And you?
Hammam Ajala.
Hammam Ajala, mashallah. And you?
Bilal Kuku.
Bilal Kuku, mashallah.
Jasina Kuku.
Jasina Kuku.
Anya Kuku.
Anya Kuku. What do you say? Ania Kuku. Wow, lovely name. Zara Jalal, mashallah. What do you say? Can't hear you, speak up. Yumna Kuku, mashallah. And you? Jamila Kuku, mashallah. You guys have very lovely names. So, inshallah, today we're going to be talking about the stories of prophets, stories of the prophet of Allah. And as Muslims, it is important we know about the stories of the prophet and the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it is part of the reason why we are Muslims. And it is one of the articles of faith. A person who is called a Muslim cannot be said to be a serious Muslim without believing in the prophet and the messengers of Allah. Before we start talking about the messengers and the prophets, what can you tell me about prophet and messenger? Do you guys know the difference between messenger and prophet? Good.
Messengers are the people who preach Islam to people.
MashaAllah, that's good. Messengers are people who preach about Islam to people. MashaAllah. Any other idea?
All messengers are prophets, but not all prophets are messengers.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So, in Islam, it is fundamental that we know the stories about this prophet and the messengers. And this is because we all know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. Who is our creator? Allah is our creator. Allah is our God, is our master, is the provider. So there is need for us to know about Allah. And there is no way to know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except by knowing the stories of the prophets who came to preach about God to mankind, to people. So they were the ones Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to people in order to tell them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can anyone tell me the number of the prophets and messengers? Can tell me the number of the prophets and messengers? There are more than one. You know that we have a lot of them, right? So can you tell me what the number of the prophets and messengers are? I want you to know that in Islam, there is no specific number of the prophets and messengers. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about 25 of them in the Quran. Do any of you know the first of the prophets? What's the name of the first prophet?
Prophet Adam.
MashaAllah, Bilal said Prophet Adam. That is very correct. Prophet Adam was the first prophet. You can tell me the last and the seed of the prophet. Okay, let's have a guess. Oh, yeah, see now. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's good. Prophet Adam was the first prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I need to tell you that there's a difference between a messenger and a prophet. Like Bilal said, all messengers came with new Sharia. They were sent with new legislations, new laws. So they came to people to tell them about what? About Allah and the religion. And they used to come with what? With new legislations. That is called Sharia in Islam. So when you hear the word Sharia in Islam, it means legislation or law. What does law mean? Law has to do with the way, the rules and the ways of doing things. What you are to do and what you are not to do. So the messengers were used to be coming to the people with new legislations. As for the prophet, they came only to preach to people based on the existing laws of the previous messenger. Do you get it now? So that's the difference between what? The messenger and the prophet. In other words, all messengers are prophets, not all prophets are messengers. Are you with me? MashaAllah. If you are with me, say MashaAllah. Now,
in Ramadan, we are all connected. We all have the same empathy towards one another. We all feel the same rush to catch that moment of iftar and walk into the same special home-cooked meals. Every Ramadan, we are one when we fast, but not always when we break fast. This Ramadan, let's be one when sharing iftar. Sharing makes us one. Coca-Cola, real wonder.
Ramadan Kareem to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Welcome to another episode on the kitchen segment of another Ramadan TV series. And today we're going to be making another type of smoothie, green smoothies. We know how green smoothies are a combination of green vegetables and green fruits. Now come with me on this journey and let's make something fantastic. And today we're going to be making use of lettuce, bananas, cucumbers, and avocado. I picked most of the choicest greens and fruits. I'm going to first peel my banana and place them in a plate. You want to do this carefully so you don't make. Now we're just going to cut. And put this aside. Now I want to cut my cucumber. This is my avocado. We remove the seed. You can also keep the seed for some skincare benefit, but I'm not doing that today. I'm making green smoothie. We're just going to dice in a bit of lettuce. We need all the greens that we can get. Now that our ingredients are ready, now we'll prepare them for blending. I'm putting in our cucumber first, our banana, our lettuce, last but not the least, our avocado. Now I'm going to be using yogurt this time. I'm not adding milk. Strawberry yogurt is still my favorite. Onion. Ice cubes. Now you're going to check for consistency. If you want it smoother than this, you actually continue blending. I want mine to be very smooth because we have lots of green in it and I don't want to start testing lettuce inside my smoothie. So while this is going on, we're going to be preparing our garnish for the smoothie. Done. Our green smoothie is ready. Now I'm just going to pour inside. Now we have other things to dice. Now you can, if you decide that you want to use your lettuce to garnish your smoothie, that's fine because you need all the vitamins and minerals you can get. Now, green smoothies are one of the popular ways for people to meet up their daily intake of vitamins and minerals. Now, this is our green smoothie for today, and I hope you enjoyed today's recipe of smoothie. We would really love to hear and get a feedback from you, just to know if you're following our recipes and trying them out.
And so this brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope it's been rewarding for you. We'll be back again tomorrow. Same station, same time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This program was refreshed by Coca-Cola and nourished by cowbell evaporated milk. Ramadan Kareem.